Guys, you're welcome back to the Afrofood Diary. My name is Geraldine, and in today's yummy episode, like the thumbnail suggested, I'll be making this Nigerian Moi Moi in cups. Before we continue, if you recognize these cups, Moi Moi cups from Nigeria, please give this video a huge thumb up and then relax and continue watching. Okay, so for our today's recipe, I'll be introducing the ingredients from the top to the bottom. Okay, here is already peeled and soaked beans. I said soaked because you need your beans to be really soft, especially if you're going to be blending it with your home blender. Okay, so here I've got about 2.5 cups of beans peeled. Okay, another major ingredient is 2 wedges of properly spiced and smoked salmon. You can replace this with smoked mackerel or any smoked fish or grilled fish of your choice. You can make use of eggs if you want to, but I prefer to use fish for my moi moi. Okay, the next thing you want to have is a mix of colorful peppers like this. I've already cleaned this one up. Okay, so I have one big red bell pepper, yeah, and one shombo or tatasha. What do you call this pepper? It's a sweet pepper. This is sweeter than this, but both are not spicy. They just add color and fragrance and a kind of taste to moi moi. Okay, I've got the spicy hot ones. I'm using chili. These particular green chilies are very spicy. Oh my goodness, a little bit of it and you'll be removing your wig. Yeah, so I've got about 5.5 of it, the mixed chilies. Yeah, but I'm not going to be dumping everything at once. I'll add it bit by bit until I get my desired amount of pepper. So you use according to your taste. I have about this size of ginger. Is bigger than a thumb, as you can see. Okay, and then I've got a clove of garlic. You can use 2 if you love garlic so much, but I think 1 is enough. I've got 2. Okay, what happened to this one? I took a little bit to fry some eggs. So it should have been 2 medium-sized onions. You can use more, you can use less, but onions does a great good, a whole lot of good to your moi moi. Okay, you don't want to use too little either. So I like to take off this outermost shell because it's very, like, the color, the purple is too purple. It kind of changes the color of the moi moi a little bit, so I like to peel this outermost darker part of the onions. Okay, so that's why I took it off. The next important ingredient is crayfish, but I don't have crayfish, so I'll be using my crayfish alternative. You must have seen this video. If you haven't, I'll leave the link in the description box. This is shrimps. It's replacing crayfish in this recipe. And of course, I've got light olive oil. You can use mamador or any vegetable oil of your choice, what we call groundnut oil in Nigeria. The next, I have some powdered ginger here. I may not use this since I have the fresh one here. Okay, if you don't have the fresh one, that is an alternative. I've got some smoked paprika powder here, and I've got salt. These 3 spices are enough. Alongside seasoning cubes, I've got 1 Knorr seasoning and a star Maggi. Yeah, I would add this before ever I add salt. Okay, salt should be the very last thing you add to your moi moi mix, otherwise you will mess it up. This is so optional, that is why I haven't mentioned it until now. This is a mix of spices. If you look very well, you will see that it contains the ones we already have here, so it's optional, you can skip it. Okay, so with that, let me show you. This is our cup. I usually usually get about 9 cups of this, and I'm using the biggest pot in this house as we are supposed to be steaming the moi moi. I've already lined the pot with this is supposed to be a rice bag. Yeah, so I use it to line the bottom of my pot, but you can use foil if that is what you have available, or you can use a steaming rack if that is what you have too. Okay, let's start cooking. So friends, I'll be putting the peeled beans in the blender. I'm going to be doing it in 2 parts so that it can blend really well. So I've added some of the onions and the fresh ginger. I'm going to add about 3 of the chilies. I need to be careful with the pepper. So you use as much pepper as you can tolerate. I'm cutting some of the sweet peppers as well. And I'm going to be adding my seasoning cubes into the blender as well. When I blend that in, it will make it easier for me to get the perfect mix at the end. Okay, yeah, so I also added about half a teaspoon of the dry ginger, like the powdered ginger. Added water up until the height of the beans itself. Okay, yeah, and just enough water to get my blender moving right now, because we're not targeting a very watery batter at the end of the day. It's better to blend with less fluid and then add more after you're done blending. Like when you're mixing it proper, you can then add more water. Okay, so this is how what it's looking like. You need a peach color. That is the essence of using the sweet peppers. Okay. So, and I tested the spicing of the pepper is enough for that batch. So I went ahead to add the rest, including the garlic and the crayfish alternative. Yeah, more water and I'll blend. Meanwhile, this is my pot and I've added enough water in there. We need it to start heating, right? So next I went ahead to peel the back of the grilled salmon. I want to break it into smaller bits to put in the moi moi. Okay, so and of course the person in the kitchen gets a share, right? Oh my, yeah, so the fish is ready. And over here, I'm done blending. Guys, my blender seems to be struggling. Please outdo me when you blend this. Just win the competition. Blend yours to be even smoother than what I have here. Okay, my blender was struggling. I need to change that very soon. So you blend it as smooth as possible, and next we're going to be adding our vegetable oil. I'm using very light olive oil. You can use any vegetable oil of your choice, or what we call groundnut oil in Nigeria. Okay, mamado and all that. So, and of course I've added about 3 of these cooking spoons at this point. Yeah, so the amount of oil you use depends on the quantity of beans you are cooking, right? My, like, what tells me that mine is ready is like the color changes, not like the color changes, but it kind of, the surface kind of brightens up. Okay, so I went ahead to add the smoked paprika, a teaspoon of smoked paprika, a teaspoon of the mixed dry spices, and then I'll stir that together. When I say the surface will brighten up, you see how it's brighter here than when, like, than before I added the oil, right? Yeah. So of course you want to be careful with that salt. That's why I'm adding it last in this mix. Once you overdo the salt, that's it for that meal. Okay. So it's better to have less salt than too much. And of course the face wasn't bright when I added a little bit more water, so I went in to add a little bit more oil. So you see how the face is bright right now. That's the best way to describe these guys. But of course, if you count the number of vegetable cooking spoons of oil I used, you'll be able to calculate yours, right? So, and of course the water is heating. Like our pot of water is heating on a low heat, and I'm going ahead now to put the moi moi, like the batter, the moi moi batter in the plates, in the cups. Okay, and of course I top up with the smoked grilled salmon like this. You don't want to fill it up to the top because this is sure going to rise. Yeah. So, and of course, normally I would be putting them directly into my pot. Like as I'm putting it, I'm transferring them directly into the pot. That is what you should do. But I'm leaving it up here just to show you guys what I'm doing. Okay. So you top up with the fish or the egg, whatever you decided to add to yours, and then cover it up if you wish or leave it open. Okay, so at this point it's all ready, and I'll go on now and start arranging them in the pot. This step is very, very necessary, so you pay attention. Okay guys, so since I have 9 cups of or plates of the moi moi, this pot is deep and is wide enough to contain the 9 cups. So how I arrange it is what I'll be showing you here. I start by arranging 3 on the base, like you can see here. So once that is done, I'm going to be using the spaces on the sides like this. The spaces they left from the bottom part. Yeah, so you put the next set on the spaces left by the first base. Okay, the essence of that is so that the steam could be coming up through that to the next set. You know, the steam could be coming up to the ones on top. So, and of course the last set too, you use the space under the space from the one under it, if that makes sense. I tried to be slow with this step so that you understand what I mean. Okay, this is a steaming process and you want all the heat to evenly distribute. With this step, you are not going to need to change up the moi moi, like bring the ones down up and take the ones down up, that kind of a thing. I didn't need to do that for mine, and I left it on a medium heat and allowed it to cook for at least 45-50 minutes. I left mine and went to pick up my boy, so you can see the face didn't rise very well. Take that as a lesson. When you cook it like all the way till the 45-50 minutes, the face should kind of swell up a little bit, you know. So but I left mine and came back and continued, so it didn't like have this beautiful finish at the surface. But the moi moi was so good. You could see that there are empty cups on the other side. I actually forgot to update us. Yeah, but now that I remembered, I don't mind an extra cup, so I'm going on now to show you what it's looking like. Again, the person in the kitchen gains more, right? Okay guys, that is it for our yummy moi moi, yummy Nigerian moi moi in cups. Give this video a thumb up and share with friends. Okay, thank you so much. Compliments of the season and have a beautiful day. Bye bye.